So what I'm doing today is I need to bolt this dash back together before I do anything. I don't want to lose all the little screws and stuff. So I'd like to do that. But first thing I got to do is fix this side. This is a common problem on these Broncos, is that this bottom, used to be a plastic tab that stuck out here and bolts into this little hole. So that broke years ago, many years ago. And when I go off-road and the whole dash is shaking. So, just as a quick fix, I go, heck, why not try squirting some of that foam spray in there, you know, Expando foam. Kind of worked. And, you know, kind of glue the thing in. Now they have a kit for these things. It's right here. This is from Bronco Graveyard. Jeff's Bronco Graveyard. Fairly simple. But you do have to pull the dash out like this. That's why I figured now's the time to put this thing on. So I got it loose. You don't unbolt the whole thing, because all you gotta do is pull this side out, and you go. Let's see. The idea is to put this in here. Yeah, it's gonna go in there. This bottom hole here is what mounts to there. Gotta find a bolt for that. I'm not sure what size it is. Must have lost that one. Or I might have it. And then it's got a few holes in here. 1, 2, 3. You gotta drill 3 holes in here into this plastic 3/4 inch holes. And to line it all up, it's got this big hole right here. See? So you need a 3/8 bolt just to stick it through the hole so everything lines up. So it's got a hole in there. So I gotta go find me 3/8 bolt, put that in there, mark the holes, drill them, rivet it in, and then pop it right back in, right? Okay. First thing though, these wires in the way. First thing I gotta do though is grind this flush. This is part of that bracket, the old plastic bracket that was on there. This has to be flush for this thing to fit on the proper. Oops. Yeah, so I'll probably get my little little Dremel tool, probably do that. Once I put that back in, I can put all the bolts back in. They do that every day. Another thing about this dash, you know, all this stuff's over 20 years old. The plastic gets brittle and stuff. Got to be very careful taking this stuff apart. Things will crack on you. Got to be very careful taking this stuff apart. Things will crack on you and break, and you'll be hurting, you know. I originally started to take the dash apart, and then when I got to this bracket here, this thing here, I was like, holy cow. You see this connector right here is already broken. It's cracked. I don't want to mess with this stuff. It's got vacuum lines and all kinds of stuff, so that's right. Quit right there. Just put it back in there. Turns out there's no need to take that off. So for right now, that's what I'm doing. And I'd like to make a little comment. You know, I went out to Aquateal this weekend. I only went for the day. I had planned on staying for the whole weekend, but I just wasn't feeling it. Not feeling it. But on my little trail ride, if you see my video, my last video, yeah, I was like the only Tacoma out there. There's nothing but Jeeps out there on them trails. I was kind of shocked at that, because you know, around town you see Tacomas all over the place. They're all lifted and got their little shovels and high lift jacks and snorkel scoops and all that stuff. You'd expect to see more off-road on the trails. I mean, one would assume. But I was thinking about it. Most of the time, you just see just Jeeps. Very, very rarely have I seen a Tacoma off out on the trails. So, that's just So anyway, yeah. I've seen a couple Broncos out there. Not on the trails, but I did see a couple Broncos, but I mostly saw Jeeps. Yeah, like this picture I'll show you right now. This is from Afton Canyon. I just crossed the little creek crossing there, the water crossing. I was surrounded by Jeeps. Okay, so in case you don't know what I'm doing or where I got the brackets, maybe I forgot to tell you. This is from Jeff's Bronco Graveyard and repair kit right hand. Number 371190 for 92 to 96, 97 Ford truck. So like I said, it comes with that bracket. It comes with 3 rivets. You do have to have a rivet tool, so I had to go buy one. Comes with fairly decent instructions. Read carefully though. Save yourself some headache, you know. Be familiar with what they're talking about. It's like don't over tighten this plastic stuff. It's only plastic. You gotta crank it on there. You just crack it worse, crack it more. So that's that bracket kit. I went and got this. Oops. Over at Ace Hardware. It's an Arrow model RH200. Now I could have gotten something cheaper at what was that? Oh, Harbor Freight, yeah. Here's the issue I have with Harbor Freight. Yeah, I don't understand. Well, it says I understand, but I don't got the patience for these guys. You know, I walk in there, I grab something, and then I gotta stand in line. There's like 6 people. There's 1 register open. They got like 4 registers, but there's 1 register open. There's like 6 people in line there, and I'm like, shouldn't have to wait to give my money away, you know. So what really frustrated me was that they opened another register, and the guy says, you know, oh yeah, next person in line. So the next person, this girl walks over there and gets in line, and I'm like, nobody else gonna go in that line? I'm gonna go in that line, right? So I go over there, and the guy sends me back into the line. He says, sir, there's only 1 line. I'm like, there's only 1 line? You got 2 registers open. Why don't you have 2 lines? Sorry, sir, there's only 1 line. You'll have to get back in line. I'm like, forget this, you know. I'll take my money over to Ace Hardware across the street. There, it's first come, first serve, you know. They got 2, 3 registers open. I ain't there to screw around with you people. Yeah, for your junk tools. Alright, so we got that. And then, oh, here's my little Dremel multi-tool. I got 2 of these, in fact, because I was out doing a repair job and I didn't have this tool with me, so I had to go buy one. It was either that or drive all the way home to get one, so I just went and bought another one. So they're both a little different, but they're both Dremel. This is the model 285. Put a little grinder wheel on there, and I'll just slowly grind that plastic back down. Alright, so this is fairly simple, but I got an issue, you know. It's got the bracket in there. There's the bolt to line it up. It just fits in there loose. I can't get a drill in there to drill in there straight. The door panel's in the way. And I don't want to pull it out anymore. I don't want to bust anything. So it's only plastic. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to heat this up with my torch and burn a hole through. Oh shit, is that going to fit through there? Shit, better get the right size drill bit, huh? Because that don't fit in there. Doggone it. Let's see, I got another one here. This one says 1/4 inch. That don't go through there. Crap. The directions say drill a 1/4 inch hole. Yep, it says right there. See that right there? 1/4 inch hole. Crap. Looks like they're using a right angle drill. See, I got a right angle drill, but it's a big one and it still don't fit in there. Alright. I'll just get a smaller drill bit. Okay, that wasn't so difficult. Being that that's plastic in there, I just heated up a drill bit. Not this one, but another one. Red hot with my little map torch and just punched a hole through the plastic and then rivet. So that's done. Now I was working around this cable here that was dangling in the way. I thought it was going through the firewall there, through to the radio antenna on the cowl, but I was trying to figure out what is this thing. I ended up pulling it out, and this here was went to the old car phone. This vehicle came with a car phone in it. So this mounted up to the glass, and then your little curly antenna mounted outside. I forget what they call that, but yeah. Now that I remember right, I had the antenna here. It had a microphone clipped on over in that corner for like a hands-free, and then underneath the seat was the actual, I guess, brains of the system. And then it had a handset, you know, like a phone, like a regular telephone with the numbers on it, and that went on there. Now when I bought it, it did not have the handset. It had everything. It had this big old black square box underneath the seat with cables going to it, and I traced it down and got some numbers off it. And it was a Motorola, yeah. So what I did is I went to Motorola and ordered a new handset, plugged it in, and shit, activated it, and worked fine for years. Until it just got outdated, because it was, you know, they all went to digital, I forget how long ago. So after that, it was kind of useless because it wasn't digital. It wouldn't work with certain systems anymore. It was neat though, you know, it honked the horn when the phone rang and stuff like that. It had those kind of options. It wasn't portable, it stayed in the car. It was a car phone back in the day. So anyway, now I can put this thing back. I might have to trim this a little for it to fit in there. I'll find out right now. But I got the bolts back in. Here's the bracket. See the bracket there? Yeah, here's the bracket. New bolt. Actually, I had to swap it from another part of the dash just to get everything secure. Get the bolt started across the top. Everything seems to line up. I'm short one bolt underneath though, so I'm gonna have to run to the hardware store before it gets dark, and just so I get that done, and then I can start assembling the rest of this little tedious stuff in here. Put my sound system back in so I can listen to something while I'm working. And yeah, that's it for right now. I gotta go to the hardware store. I got a bucket full of bolts, but nothing like that. It's kind of like a fine thread. I'll have to find out what size it is. It's probably metric. So anyway, that's it for today. See you later.